They say the Hollowridge Bridge leads nowhere, that it was built long ago when the village was young, and that it should have fallen down by now. But it hasn't, it just waits. Ellric had always known about the bridge, not because anyone talked about it. They didn't, but because not talking about something in Nettlescloff meant it mattered more than most things. It sat just past the blackberry field, at the bottom of a shallow hill where the fog always seemed to linger longer than it should. Wooden rails, weather-worn, stone footings chipped by time, and a sign that had long ago stopped showing words, just pale, flaking wood with the ghost of paint. No one ever crossed it. Not the children playing stickball near the stream, not the farmers who walked their sheep in every direction, but that one, and certainly not the elders who simply looked away when you asked. So Ellric, being Ellric, decided one day that he would. He didn't pack much, a satchel, a soft plum, the small leather notebook he always kept in his coat. He left just before dusk. The light was golden, soft, and the village looked the same as always as he passed it by. Warm windows, chimney smoke curling, someone whistling near the mill. The air changed as he reached the hill. Not colder, not darker, just still, as if sound had politely stepped aside. He walked down, his boots slipping slightly on the damp grass, stood before the bridge. The fog clung close here, the kind that felt thicker than it looked. It curled at his ankles, licked the sides of the bridge like lazy fingers. And then, without thinking too hard about it, he crossed. 3 steps, 7, 12. The middle of the bridge felt like the middle of a dream. The wood creaked but didn't break. The railings trembled just slightly in the breeze, if there was a breeze. The other side looked like the same woods he'd always known, but not quite. It was too quiet. The trees were too tall. The light came from a sun that wasn't the same color it had been moments ago. Ellric stepped off the bridge, and the fog rolled in like a curtain. The village didn't see him that night, or the next day. Some thought he'd wandered off. Others thought he'd gone to visit his uncle in Gramble Hollow, though no one really believed that. They simply hoped saying it out loud would make it true. But at sunrise on the second day, a knock came at the baker's door. It was Ellric, except he wasn't the same. He looked older, not by years, by moments. But they were heavy moments, the kind you carry in your shoulders, behind your eyes. He said nothing, just handed the baker a satchel. Inside were 3 things. 1, his leather notebook, now bloated with pages not written by his hand. 2, a stone perfectly smooth and warm to the touch, glowing faintly green. 3rd, a single page stained with mud and water, written in a language no one in Nettlescloff could read. Then he left, walked past the mill, past the blackberry field, and back to the bridge. He stood at its edge for a long while. Then, slowly, he tore the strange page in half, buried one piece beneath a patch of wild clover, kept the other tucked inside his coat, and this time he didn't cross. He sat and waited. For days after, Ellric barely spoke. He returned to his chores, helped mend fences, ate slowly, and watched the sky longer than most people did. At night, he'd sit near the bridge, never on it, just near it. Sometimes he'd hum a tune no one knew. Other times he'd sketch symbols in the dirt with a stick, then erase them. Eventually, the others stopped asking questions, except for the children. One, a girl named Brina, finally asked, "What was on the other side?" Ellric looked at her, smiled faintly. A place that remembers what we forget. Weeks passed, seasons changed, and one day, the village woke to find that the Hollowridge Bridge was gone. Not broken, not burned, gone. No wood, no stones, just tall grass where the hill had once sloped downward, as if the bridge had never been built at all. Some say the land reclaimed it. Others say Ellric made a trade. And a few, usually the quiet ones, the ones who notice things, say it still exists, but only for those carrying the right kind of silence in their bones. Now and then, someone in the village finds a stone, smooth, warm to the touch, glowing faintly green. No one keeps them. They always go missing by morning, just like Ellric.